going to do a video on how I stencil and paint my cups. I've been asked a lot how I get the stencil on there without any runs or anything, and this is going to just be a video showing a little bit of how I do it. I do use the Rust-Oleum paint, and I like this paint because it gives great coverage. I never really have any issues with running. As you'll see on this video, I do very short light coats. Typically for a cup this size, I do anywhere from 2 to 3 coats. I do like to get the full color that I'm using, and like I said, I don't like to have any running, so if it takes a lot of coats, then I'd rather do a lot of short coats than to do one large coat, because what'll happen then is you'll start to see that running. You'll start to see running and clumping. Here I'm putting the second coat. I'm gonna add the second coat of paint. I checked that it was totally dry. It took about 5 minutes for that first thin coat to dry. This was done on a sunny day. It was about 85 degrees outside. I have noticed that the temperature, the humidity, all of that plays a part in how long it takes for the paint to dry completely. When doing especially the stencils, you do want to, I've heard different ways of, you don't want the cup to be completely dry. You want it to be partially dry when removing the stencils. I've personally had better luck when I've let each layer of paint that I put on there dry completely. So after the final coat goes on, I do allow the cup to sit for the full 24 hours to dry completely. And when I do that, I'm able to easily remove the stencil, because unless you are painting every day on a day that is 85 to 90 degrees out with little to no humidity out, you're gonna have issues with the paint peeling because it's not gonna dry completely underneath like you need it to. On this portion of the video, it had been, with that second coat, I let it dry, I want to say that one dried for about 30 minutes because it did go on a little thicker, and it was the second coat. So I let that one dry a good 30 minutes before I went back to put the final coat of paint on. I did end up having to use 3 full coats on this specific cup. Yeah, so you'll see how I put that last coat on there, and the rest of the video is pretty much going to be me removing, like I'll show what the final cup looks like before I remove any of the stencil, and then the rest of the video will be me actually removing the stencil and the tape, the areas that I taped off. If you have any questions, please just let me know, and I'll try my best to answer them. Or if there's anything more you would like to see in the next video, I can do another one and give more explanation. Thanks for watching.